Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a two-parter where I'm joined by Tariq from Freaks Rewards and the Stack Your Points podcast. Tariq is a Southwest traveler, and I wanted to get his reactions to the changes to the Southwest program that happened earlier this week. So we talked a lot about that. Now, I've been planning to do a video with Tariq as well about his thoughts on a potential dream like IHG luxury card and a potential World of Hyatt luxury card because he is a fan of both programs. And IHG recently extended their relationship with Chase for at least another 11 years and want to get more spend on their credit cards and want to expand their program. So it seems to make sense that they would bring in a luxury credit card, whether that's travel focused or just IHG focused. I don't know. We just have some fun with it. So part one to this is going to be the Southwest portion of things, and part two will be the IHG portion. So the IHG Hyatt portion, I'll do an intro for that as well. But if you like what I do, hit the like and subscribe button. Check out the pinned comment for ways to support me outside of YouTube. If you want to support me here on YouTube, consider becoming a channel member. That is the Tidbit Collector down there. $2.99 a month, cancel at any time. Be a huge help. Check out the videos that'll show up at the end. So I'll do the pointy thing now. They're going to show up at the end. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching. Check out Stack Your Points. We record on Monday nights. It comes out on Wednesdays and Fridays here on YouTube and Saturdays on the podcatcher of your choice. Appreciate your time. Talk to you soon. Bye for now. Hey, folks, welcome. And we have Tariq with us now. Tariq, how are you today?
I am good. I am good. Looking forward to being on the Matt Clausen channel, despite literally the other day, as of this recording, doing a recording for Stack Your Points. So, daily dose of Matt face to face. Let's do it again.
Appreciate that. Hopefully it's good. No, I wanted to get your reaction on a couple things because between recording Stack Your Points, pretty much 12 hours after recording Stack Your Points, the news about Southwest hit. And we were making fun of you on the show about you coming back to Southwest because we have this whole lost episode where it turns out Tariq is no longer Team United. So what is your thoughts, however you want to respond? What are your thoughts on these changes that were announced?
I have to say, going the next day on the Discord after recording the previous night and seeing that bombshell and just the fallout, I think on Twitter it was number 2 trending, and I just read, and it seemed like it was something out of The Onion. It just did not seem real. But then again, there's a lot of stuff that feels like it's out The Onion, but that's for a different channel. But I was just in complete shock. I remember their press release back in July. Bob Jordan was interviewing and saying that for the time being, the 2 free check bags weren't going anywhere. But he made it said at this point. And I didn't catch it then, but I went back and I saw the video and I was just like, oh, they have been thinking about this. I have a buddy of mine that's not related in the points and miles game, but just transportation travel in general, sent me a Washington Post article about them doing a poll that's potentially we're seeing getting the feel of how would it feel removing the 2 free check bags. And I say all that to say I was just floored. It just doesn't make any sense because Southwest is known for 2 major things, 2 to 3. One, the minor one, their point-to-point model versus the legacy carriers doing a hub and spoke. There's a lot more direct flights versus if you're not at a hub airport, you're going to have to go connect to a hub, whether it be United, Delta, or American's hubs. That's the minor one. The other one, which was the controversial one that some people loved, some people hated, was the cattle call open seating policy, where if you did the boarding at the right time, you could get an exit row seat, which is extra legroom. I've had it done before. It's great. And then, of course, the pre-boarders don't get it because you can't pre-board and be in the exit row. And the last one, and the most popular one, was the 2 free check bags. It was a given. I remember my dad and we were flying back from my brother's graduation, and he was moving, and my mom was going to drive him back in his car. So we took his baggage and his luggage. I don't even think I checked the bag. I had a carry-on. So we took 2 or 3 of his checked bags, rolled them in the Southwest, and we were able to check them all because I didn't have it. And it was great for those. It's great for those extended trips. And seemingly overnight, that's gone for everybody. Not even to mention want to get away fares that slash. I think they talked about that before we broadcasted that,
Yeah.
recorded that podcast. So they slashed that. That got it went from 6 to 2, and then want to get away plus was 8 to 6. Just in a span of like 48 to 72 hours, Southwest just completely abandoned that Southwest was. And that's just credit to being at a private dealing with a private equity firm to get all that front loading cash, and then you deal with what you deal with.
Yeah.
So I know I watched the CBS News video, and Jordan was interviewed saying that the reason why they did that was to push for their more openings for the co-branded cards. I know Chase and Southwest had a renewing of their partnership. So from a business standpoint, I understand, but you just pissed off pretty much the majority of your customer base. Like I was the one, oh yeah, going back to Southwest. Southwest makes sense. I have a flight on this weekend on Southwest because it was a nonstop and it was just easy. But fortunately, I'm not checking the bag, but it's I don't even feel the love from Southwest anymore, pun intended, because they literally took away what made Southwest Southwest. Now that they're charging check bags and they're saying they're going to be competitive with the other airlines, so expect a $35-$40 first check bag. Aside from the point to point model versus hub and spoke, that's literally what they have left going for them. They got a basic economy that's restricted or restrictive, seat selection. So now they're just a run of the mill airline. They're basically American without a hub. They're a hubless American Airlines. They're glorified American Airlines because there's nothing that sets them apart aside from the direct model. And it's frustrating, it's disappointing, and I don't see Southwest keeping that policy for long because they have to revise it. Not many people are buying business select tickets, and I get it because free Wi-Fi and a free drink isn't going to justify like a 50% increase on the fare on the priority boarding when most people pre-board and you're getting the same seat regardless. So they're like trying to push people into this anytime in the business select, and yeah, you're just going to piss off all your family, your customer base, and they're going to go find something else. Like you're basically a glorified Spirit because even Spirit has a first class seat.
They have talked about like changes to the cabin, changes to like bringing in eventually a first class product. I think that's supposed to come next year, or like a first class type product, but it'd be domestic first class, which is just like business class with a seat in between. So that being said, do you understand the frustration? I'm curious if this will change your booking decisions with Southwest. Like you did say business select is 50% more, but you're also going to make like that top point earning, right? With
Mhm.
business, you're still going to get the two seats, the two check bags with business select. Do you anticipate booking business select if the additional changes that are coming down the line? Because the way I'm thinking about this, like they did a massive amount of bloodletting yesterday, right? Yesterday was bad, but there's got to be good news coming with the other changes that they're planning. So if the other changes are better, could you see yourself booking business select akin to our co-host on Stack Your Points, RJ, how they will just book first class, like domestic first class for themselves? Do you see yourself eventually just booking business select if the changes for business select and like business select is assigned seating? Do you see that as a possibility?
So I know, I think it's 26. They're going to start with the extra leg room, which I think that's to the full extent there. I don't think they're going to go bigger seats akin to how Spirit Airlines does, either the big front seat or there's a fare below their go big where it's like a comfort plus type of thing where there's no extra leg room, but the middle seat is blocked off. It's like intentionally blocked off.
Okay, yeah.
Southwest, to my knowledge, doesn't do that. I depending on the price difference between the Wanna Getaway Plus or the Anytime or the Business Select, maybe I think I'd be better off seeing what Chase and Southwest are going to cook up with the changes in the Southwest co-branded card, because I think you can get one free check bag. Now, I'll be honest, it is very rarely that I check more than one bag. As a matter of fact, it's not very often that I check a bag. I think the last time I flew Southwest, I went to Chicago for about a week. So yeah, I checked the bag.
Yeah.
So with
And
that being
there's a good
said,
amount of
it's not
folks.
gonna hurt me. Yeah, it's not gonna hurt me as much as it's gonna hurt the family going to like their Hawaii service where they're gonna stay for a week or somewhere and they're gonna need all the clothes. So I'm just speaking to like the masses, and yeah, a lot of people are pissed. But if they do something where, which they got to just rebrand their cards altogether, because they don't even have a no, they don't even have a $0 annual fee credit card. Their entry level credit card is a $69 annual fee. So if their mid tier card or their top card gives you a check bag as part akin to the United Explorer, then I don't see booking Business Select,
Okay.
because it's just paying extra for essentially the same seat from what I see right now, which is, excuse me, probably why they are struggling at this moment trying to get those Business Select fares, because unless your job is paying for it and you're not getting anything out of it, not your average everyday person is not going to book Business Select. They're probably going to book Want to Get Away Plus, and maybe the Anytime. But for the most part, if you're fine, you can just book a Want to Get Away and get like early bird check-in. Early bird check-in, I think, is as cheap as $15 per leg. So I see why they did it, because they are trying to offer this Business Select product, and it's probably not making them as much money as they thought they would, because they're probably not having many people buy it. Plus, we already know there's an issue with people who pre-board and people who probably don't need to pre-board. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
So the A1 through A15 boarding is maybe okay at best. I think I was in like mid tier B on a full flight, and I even got on I think it was either a 737 Max 8 or their 800, where they have the row where it's only two seats, and my girlfriend and I managed to snag those seats. And I think I was like B34, 37 or something like that. So I wasn't even like good A boarding. So I don't see it being something I can go for with Southwest, just because it's trying to be a first class product. They don't really have a first class hard product to sell for the price that they're charging for that.
Yeah. Looking at their fare structure has always confused me, but that's just because I've never actively wanted to fly Southwest. Like, if it wasn't one of the legacy carriers, in the Northeast, like, I have JetBlue as an option, and I always liked the fact that JetBlue had the most amount of legroom and economy, and they still do, which is nice. But
Yeah, Southwest is going
thinking,
to go down. I think it's like 30. It was like 32 to 31, and I'm like, oh, so I think Southwest is probably like the second best,
mm,
and they're just slightly better than the legacies now. So thanks, Southwest.
yeah. Now, thinking about the cards, we know that Bob Jordan has said that the cards are going to get refreshed in some form or they're definitely getting refreshed, because they are not necessarily ending the cattle call boarding, but they are looking to get into assigned seats, and whatever assigned seats is going to look like, whether that is just A1 through A15 is going to be assigned, or A1 through like B15, because we don't know the extent of it, but the cards are going to get refreshed. Looking at their three personal cards, I'm not going to touch the business cards right now. This is the Southwest Rapid Rewards Plus card. This is the $69 card. You get 2 early bird check-ins, 25% discount in flight purchases. Who cares? You're never going to fly. You're never going to fly enough and buy stuff on the plane enough to get for that 25% to ever justify the annual fee. The card itself gives you 3,000 anniversary points. and it's 2x on a lot of things like Southwest flight, direct Southwest purchases, including Southwest gift cards, they say, hotel, car rentals, local transit, ride shares, things like that, internet, cable, phone services, and then one times points on everything else. Surprisingly, those 2x categories are the same, going to be the same on the $99 Premier card and the $149 Priority card, which is mind blowing to me.
Just simple as
They're
that.
not the they're not the best earners. No, there's no dining, there's no regular travel. I guess like hotel and car rental they're including. So it's fine, but
No,
it's Rapid
it's
Rewards
yeah,
hotels and
it's
car rental prices.
through their portal, not general travel.
Okay, that's not great. Yeah, what would you wanna see out of these cards if they're gonna keep these same cards the way that they are? $69, $99, 149. Do you think they need to come over the top and come out with a card that's above 149? Do you think they need to make the Priority Pass Plus card the Rapid Rewards Plus card, Jesus. The Rapid Rewards Plus card, does that card need to drop to no annual fee? And then it would lose the free check bag, but the other cards could get a free check bag. What do you think is possible or plausible for a refresh of the Southwest cards? We can go
So
card by card or
yeah,
just
well, we can go card by card. I'll start with the plus because plus needs to be an annual fee card. I think
okay.
at $69, you it before all the changes, before we have know what we know now, Southwest credit cards are really only good for one thing, and those are for the people who are fine getting a business card and they go for the companion pass. You always see people, I think Spencer Johnson was one of the more notable ones, which I can't wait to hear what he has to say about that because I know he's a avid Southwest flyer.
Not
Uh,
just Spencer, but Stan as well. Stan's going to be
oh,
dedicating a portion of his life
Stan
to.
was sad. I commented on one of his posts. He was not too thrilled about it. You always see the Southwest cards getting them in like December, like November, December, January, because you're trying to get to the companion pass. Because realistically, the most Southwest, that's like the big thing. It's a good value, but 130, there's like 100 flights or 130,000 Southwest companion pass qualifying points, which is like through spend and whatnot. Yeah, no. The 25% back on in-flight purchases, I've flown Southwest enough. There's only two things you can buy on Southwest: their alcohol and the Wi-Fi. So you're gonna get 25% back on. I don't even know how much the Wi-Fi is. Let's just say it's $8. So you'll get $6
$2
back. Yeah, $2 back. Alcohol, yeah, sure, but I'm sure you can get drink vouchers or whatever. But I wouldn't drink on a plane like that, especially when the service is already up in the air. Don't need to mix alcohol with altitude. No thanks. Know what's up with that.
Get your fix at the lounge.
Yes, Southwest. Funny enough, the early bird check-in. I know Bob Jordan said that the cattle call boarding position is not leaving. It'll be
Okay.
interesting to see how they do that with the early bird because obviously the big draw for early bird check-in, same with the upgraded boarding on the priority card when we touch on that a little bit later, is so you can get the higher boarding position because of the open seating. Now, yes, we'll probably see an influx of more carry-ons, and so you got to fill in the carry-on space because not everyone's going to pay for a check bag.
Yeah.
So we can keep that like the base one. Essentially, you can just keep that kind of like the gateway. Anniversary bonus, we can take away from that. We don't really need the anniversary bonus because it's a no annual fee card. Because I think Southwest points 1.4 cents per point. So even at 3,000 points, what is that 1.4%? $42.
Which I mean, for a $69 annual fee card, nice, not anymore. For a $69 annual fee card, $42 back every year is pretty
It's
solid.
solid. Yeah. But at the same time, if you're like, oh, I'm not gonna fly Southwest anymore, your options are either keep eating the $69 annual fee and letting those anniversary points accrue or
Yeah.
cancel the card. I
Yep.
think Southwest needs to have an option Like even if it's just like a crappy no annual fee card that maybe gives you like what a 10,000 point sign up bonus for 3,000 in 3 months. Keep it like the Gateway or the Delta Blue or whatever American Express Advantage word salad card that they have for the no annual fee.
That's the
Um,
mile up card.
yeah, yeah, those are the worst when it comes to names. City, just shame on City and American Express. But just keep that. I think the plus should be the check bag. And I don't even know what else I could see in the plus because you get the 6,000 anniversary points, which at 6,000, you're at 84. So you try to come up with $15 to make up for it. But there is no other, I mean, there's the early bird check in. It's essentially the Rapid Rewards Plus with a higher point qualifying. But now you get the 10,000 companion point boost and you get the unlimited tier qualifying points. They haven't updated their page yet, and so I still see the bags fly free, and that's just painfully ironic.
Yeah.
Ouch. But the priority, I will say, 149 for a chase card annual fee just seems odd. Can't really think of any other chase cards at the top of my head that have a 149 annual fee. If you see the 95, you see the 99 for like IHG, 250, 550, 525 for the United Club. But I don't really
The only
see
other
any
card that's below $200 that is not 149 because they have two cards that are like in that weird space. The first is this priority card at 149, and then the other one is the 199 Hyatt business card.
Yes, the one that I have. And for those who watch Stack Your Points, you already know my 2 cents on that. Or I guess in this case, the one Hyatt point. So it's a weird thing. And yes, there's also the Southwest business card. I think they have a 199 on there as well. But I think if you're going to try to keep it on par with Chase business card, that's maybe up it to 250.
So they do have two business cards. They have the Premier Business and they have the Plus Business. The Premier Business, breaking down the Premier Business, this gives you 4 upgraded boardings every year when available. This gives you TSA PreCheck or Nexus fee credit. Nexus, I think, actually includes Global Entry, TSA, or Nexus. I think Nexus actually includes Global Entry and TSA PreCheck, which is interesting because then that would have me ask if Sentinel also has TSA PreCheck and Global Entry, but I don't remember. You get in-flight Wi-Fi credits. You get a boost of 10,000 companion. You get the boost of 10,000 companion pass points. You get the 1,500 tier qualifying points for every 5,000 in spend. You get a $500 fee credit for point transfers per year. So when you use your Rapid Rewards card to transfer points to another Rapid Reward member, fees associated with the transfer will be reimbursed up to $500. You get 4 points per dollar on Southwest purchases, 3 points per dollar on Rapid Rewards, hotels and car rental purchases, 2 points per dollar on local transit and blah, 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 2 points per dollar on social media and search engine advertising, and 2 points per dollar on internet, cable, and phone streaming services. So the Premier business card is interesting. I do not remember the annual fee on that card. The Plus is a more stripped down version of that card. It doesn't give you nearly as much. Going back to the personal cards, do you think if they took the priority and hyped the priority up and made it like a 250 card, added an extra, what is it, 50, $100 to the annual fee? They up the annual travel credit that you get with Southwest every year from 75 to, let's make it 125. So they add $50 there. And then they're going to reconfigure this card for whatever the assigned seating is. Like this is going to be the assigned seating card.
Yes.
I don't even know. So here's the thing that's been on my mind: is Companion Pass long for this world at this point?
I don't even know. I won't say it's not unattainable. Like it's more attainable to get than like Hyatt Globalist, and it's probably the most attainable airline status out of all the legacy carriers that have status. But
Companion Pass is separate from A-List.
Yeah, so it's not like it's status in the terms of you got to get the qualifying points for it.
Yeah.
And they make it easy because honestly, with the sign-up bonus, unless you get like the Companion Pass sign-up bonus, but like most of the sign-up bonuses in the Southwest cards will get you at least A-list, if not A-list preferred depending on when you get the bonus.
Okay.
It'll be interesting to see how they do companion pass with all these changes because it was easier to do with it being the seats, so not having open seating, and all you have to do is just pay the 911 fees. So you just pay the 560 per one way, and everything else is covered. But now you got to factor in paying for the check bag, potentially paying for seat selection if you want the extra legroom seats. I still think it's attainable, but I definitely think they're going to make it harder because, as we see, Southwest is apparently just hemorrhaging money and is out so poor because they're having to do things like go back on the things that they've had for 50 plus years.
Yeah, the weirdest aspect of that I didn't fully get to explain in the tidbits I did on this yesterday was that they had a former chief transition officer who came out publicly or semi-publicly at one point was just like, look, we're going to lose more business by going away from doing the free check bags than we're going to be able to keep if we do it. And that person left Southwest in the last 2 months.
That was not voluntary, I can tell you that much. And also,
No.
if they would have just, even if they would have just went from, instead of 2 free check bags, they give you 1 and then you pay for the second, yeah, you'll still get backlash. But I can't think of as many people that are they're bringing 2 check bags every time they fly Southwest. If they were to cut it from
Yeah.
2 to 1, then yeah, then you can make like the benefit of, okay, cool, the priority credit card, you can get the second check back. You won't get the almost riots that you're seeing that are just like completely going to go away from Southwest because they went from 2 to no check bags. Like it's bad enough like the people that love the open seating are losing open seating. They'll get people that are okay with open seating, but yeah, slashing the check bags was nightmarish. Which poor Herb Kelleher is rolling in his grave. Which, by the way, happy heavenly birthday, Herb Kelleher. This is exactly what you wanted to see. That you're looking down. The airline that you love is dead.
Yep, and we can think. I know we said private equity earlier, but it is technically Elliott Investment Management is technically a what is it? A corporate activist investor, corporate raider type company. I see no difference between activist investor type company and private equity. They do the exact same thing. They go in and private equity purchases a company outright. Activist investors just purchase enough of a company to have a control. Some say influencing say in the company, and then they start stripping the company for parts.
Yeah, I think it was like they bought like a $1.3 billion share of Southwest at the time back in I think summer 2024 or whenever it was. They have a lot of say. And yeah, just like this, like they're gonna do what a private equity firm does, and they're gonna kill this airline.
Yeah. So while we're very technically incorrect about saying private equity, there's in my eyes, now in my opinion, no difference in a company, no difference between a company like Elliott and a company like Bain Capital. No difference whatsoever to me. And it's my channel, so thank you for watching. Sorry. So yeah, we'll have to see what ends up happening with Southwest. Like the card changes could fix a lot of the ill will. But it is weird to me that they came out, made this announcement, and they're not buttressing the pain with, and here are the credit card benefits that are coming. Just highlight them.
I don't know who was on their PR team, but they dropped the ball on this because we don't even know when we're going to hear about it. Because I know they said card changes were coming soon. People that fly Southwest or in the points and miles community, once they heard about the seat changes, we know there was going to be changes in the credit cards because they can't off like the early bird check-in or the priority upgraded boardings aren't going to have the same draw as they did when it was open seating. So we knew changes were going to happen, but to then drop this bombshell of not even having check bags anymore and still nothing on the credit cards, that was a huge miss.
Yeah.
I hope that when Chase and Southwest unveil the revamp on these cards, that it's going to just knock your socks off, to where it'll soften the blow that was the hardest gut punch I've ever seen for any loyalty brand since I have been aware of the points to miles game.
Or anytime Bonvoy does something different.
Southwest, we basically just got Bonvoid in the airline industry.
Yes.